Krishna, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, no, I'm not speaking. I'm just searching for my first EIP, this integration, right? So yesterday we were looking at yesterday we were looking at how do we create an outbound EIP, all the three basic steps of an outbound EIP, right? So including get data, transform data, and deliver data, right? Those are the three different steps on an outbound EIP. So typically each of them is one is getting data. So you get the information or get the data from an XML from a report, and you transform the data. Right now we use the report transformation as our transformation logic. Custom report transformation is already a pre-built pre-built transformation in Workday, which we can directly use and configure a certain field level, and we can transform the file into the required format. Like we can do a delimited file with any delimited type, tilde, comma, any delimited. But we can also do with format file, and we can deliver the file using EIB delivery service right below it. But that is custom report transfer, right? So you're only able to get all the information from whatever is coming from the report. You're only able to just include it in the output. That's it. Like you don't have any option to do anything. You don't have any option to exclude certain entries, or you don't have any option to write some calculations or any of the sort, right? So that is the limitation of this custom report transformation. All you can do is pick up that field and just specify some of these values, and then just click OK. So when you run the integration, you're gonna get that output. But that is a limitation, right? So what if my requirement is can do a lot of calc fields, but there might be some places where you need a lot of customization, a lot of additional logic that will go into place, right? For those cases, you're actually looking at custom transformation instead of custom report transformation, right? It is more of an additional step that we take to transform the file into our required format, or transform the fields into our required format. So what is custom transformation? So custom transformation typically is nothing but Xslt, right? You write your Xslt on top of your XML, and you get that information, right? For example, what is the XML of this worker? If I go to web services, I say view URL, and I can prompt something here. We can effective date. Click OK. So I can check for any of the XMLs here. Right? This is the Workday XML, which has the reference IDs and employee IDs of skill zones, and whatever the instance field is, we have the ID information for that. I can go simple XML, which is just the wherever instance is there, it just populates the value of that instance, not underlying a reference or a this ID field. Okay. So based on that, I'm going to start with my simple XML right here. I'm going to take the simple XML. I'm going to use it in my Oxygen. So I'm going to use a tool called Oxygen XML editor. You can find it free. You can go to Google for Oxygen XML editor and go for Oxygen XML editor. You can pick any of these two. I would say go to the XML editor right here. Just say download whatever version you want, and you can get Windows and everything. So when you click download, it will ask you to enter this information, so you get a 30-day evaluation key. Okay. So if you want your 30-day evaluation key, if you're not buying it for $99 or $150 or something, you can give your Gmail ID or personal email or ERP email, whatever you have, and get a 30-day evaluation. For suppose in future you pass your 30 days and you want it back, just create another good Gmail and put it out there. you'll get 30 days. Yeah. If you're sick of it, just buy it out for $99. Okay. So I'm using that oxygen here. So this is pretty much very useful in the initial stages because you wouldn't know some of the errors of Xslt or syntaxes of Xslt, right? So this one actually helps us uh, easily build that Xslt. Like it has some, it basically prompts us if we start entering some values, or basically tells us that this code formation is not correct, or it has some errors, or you missed a bracket or whatever it is, right? In some clients, you don't have Oxygen. The only option you will have is Notepad++, which is pretty tough to build an Xslt. You're just writing an Xslt in here. You can't even run it. There are some plugins to do it, but if you want, you can add a XML plugin, but usually you run it in the integration. I'm going to start with Oxygen. Create a new XML. I'm going to create a new XML document. In this XML, I'm going to get everything from my simple XML. I'm going to copy everything, Control C, paste it. I scroll up. This line is not an XML line. This XML, this is just a text field out there. The rest of the thing is fine. I'm going to just format and indent everything here. So this click will organize it in a good manner. So you have each report entry that you can see here, right? Let me say, XML. I would also always take, I always recommend to take the XSP, the schema, for that specific XML. Whatever XML you're writing your code on, get that XSP. If you're writing it on Workday XML, get this XSP. If you're writing it on simple XML, get this XSP. So schema defines your XML, right? So I will put it here. Control N as a new XML schema, create. Go to text. Remove this. Control. I'm gonna save it in the same folder. File. So what is schema really doing here is schema is basically going. Excuse me. Schema is basically going through each of the field and basically giving it what type of value it is. Is it a string, or is it a numeric, or is it an amount, date, field, and how many times it has to minimum occur. So it says minimum occurrence 0. It means, well, even though this employee ID field is not available, this XML is still valid based on this schema. Right? Basically, schema defines your XML. Based on your schema, you will know what type of field value, things like that. So next thing I would do is associate the schema with an XML. Right? I go to my document. I would say associate schema, and I pick my schema. And click OK. So this should associate my schema, basically giving me the location or the schema location, which is nothing but the namespace of your schema. Right, this one. Okay. And if you validate it, the XML is now valid. So you have a good XML that you can work on. Now I'm gonna start with Xslt. I'm just gonna save it as a blank first. Okay, so this is our Xslt, right? So this is the basic syntax, the initial starting point, right? You have your first line, which is like your hash studio.h, where you have your XML version specified 1.0, and your encoding within your Xslt is always UTF-8. So, and then this is your style sheet language. So this is your entire, between this will be your entire Xslt program, right? Your entire Xslt program depends on what you have here. And then XML namespace, just generic namespaces. This is the XML Xslt namespace. And this is the XML schema coming from w3.org. Exclude prefixes, so don't include the prefixes XS. That means prefix in this sense is WD is prefix. So you don't have to include it in the output. Version is 2.0. We are using an Xslt version of 2.0. The first thing when I'm developing, right, I would always associate this Xslt with my XML to see directly when I run this Xslt, what will be the result. To do that, I have to do here, go here, apply transformations, create a new transformation, XML with Xslt transformation, go and find the file, first file.xml, go and find your Xslt, first file.xslt. Always use the Stackton E 9.7 processor or transformer for your Xslt transformation. It's because I read it in community somewhere in the work documentation. They prefer this transformation. Work they use it at the backend. It also apply associated. If you see the end result, you're typically getting is all the information except for the tags, right? All your tags right here, employee ID, hire date, total base date, those are gone. It is returning everything, every data element in the XML file, right? Everything here. You're also getting this because this is you didn't specify whether the output is XML or text. So it's automatically giving you the XML ahead. What I would do now is I would say XSL output. I would say type method. Output method is text or XML. I would say text or not. And I'm going to close this right here. And I would also say, so if I say output is equal to text, I'm going to lose this. Okay? So that line is gone now, but I still have some blank spaces everywhere. I see blank spaces everywhere in the XSLT. Okay? Now I would say Excel script space. I pick up star, that means everything, remove all white space from your XML, from your output. Right? Just click on it. Just run this, everything will fall in line. Right? Now we don't have any other extra spaces. Everything is falling in one line right here. Right? Pretty good start. We were able to get our data into a text format. We were able to remove all the spaces. Now what we have to do is print the values that we want. This is where you have to understand the concept called export, right? So okay. So when we look for XML first, I would say let's start with root. Root class. So within the row you have column 1, let's say column 1 Nothing but your first name, or let's put my name. I'm gonna close my column. COP. And column names are my right. I can write any column. 20. Let's put the 20 equals 1, 0, 0, 1, and then end the COP. I'm gonna end my row. Same thing here. I'm gonna start a new row. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy this. Just change the value. And so here, now I would go bigger. Darker, and the next thing would be Tony Stark. Oh, no, Tony Stark. Okay, so you have three sets of data elements here. Let's just go through these three sets, right? So you have your root, which is your parent, right? Your parent is closing, and you have each row going here, going here. This is the entire row, right? So each row have its own columns. We have a column 1, column 2, date of birth. Let's say, for example, this row might have something called move. This will go like movie 1. I have a movie. And then close. Then I'm gonna close. And these guys might have more movies. Right? These guys can have movie 2. And you can also end something like this. It's totally fine. Same as ending it. Ending it like this is same as ending it like this. Same thing with this guy. You might have the same. 1, Sherlock, 2, Iron Man. Okay. Now within this entire XML, right? So you have a parent, which is ending as a parent. You have a child, right? And then you have your columns, column 1, column 2, date of birth. And this one has more child elements, right? So this for this child element, this would be the parent, but this one this would be the parent, but this one this would be the parent, right? So that is how your XML is formed in the first place, right? You have different tags, and each tag will have a parent tag until the main root appears. Okay. Also, how do you navigate to the file? Let's say I want to get to the date of birth, or I want to get to the name, column 1. I want to get values of column 1. I want to get Peter in my output, right? So within this file, how do you navigate an XML file, right? So for navigating an XML file, you would use something called XPath. That is where XPath comes into the picture. So XPath is how you navigate XML, right? It's similar to how you navigate your folders on your computer. So if I go to my computer, I open something, or this. So this is my folder, right? I'm going to fluid answer, right? So I'm coming from C. I went to users, I went to GK, I went to Xslt, and then I came to fluid answer. So that is how this is nothing but typically your X path. This is your path to navigate into the fluid and folder, right? Similarly, if you want to navigate to Krishna, what would be your X path? You want to get Krishna as your route. You want to print Krishna. Your X path would root slash row slash column one, right? So this would give you Krishna. Anybody want to try how to do Peter? Or I want to print this and then first thing is print this PK and then how do you print this? How do you get this information PK?
In root row movie.
So you said root row movie?
Yes.
And movie one.
Movies and
We want.
movies,
Yeah.
and then you go movie one. How do you get Peter? Here is right here.
In root row column one.
Root row column one. So Peter, so this is the same exactly as this, right? So this would result in Krishna, unless you on your row you can tell them. I mean, you can basically tell the expert you are looking at a different child element. You're looking at a second child element. So this would give you Peter. Same thing if you want to get Spider-Man, you do something similar. Root slash row. I'm gonna go for 2 movies slash movie 1 or movie 2. Right? Movie 2 is the Spider-Man. So that is your X part. That is how you navigate through your XML file to get to the fields that you want. Right. So any doubts on X path? Pretty simple, right? That's how you navigate it. In our case, what is the X path for my employee ID? For my employee ID, what is my X path? I would start with report data. Okay. So I will say, in order to print something in Xslt, you need to have some form, an Xslt syntax called Xslt value. First thing you want to do is you want to create a template. First thing you want to do is you want to create a template. Template is where it basically holds everything, and it says what XML tag you are actually looking against, right? So you create a template called Xslt template, and within the template you write your entire Xslt. So you say match. There might be multiple templates. So match is what XML tag you're trying to match. I will say I'll match everything. So you can do this. This is every node, right? I'm just looking at the entire XML document. I'm not looking at a specific report entry or something like that, right? So you usually do that, and then now you can write your XSL value of select. So this one in XSLT prints you information. You can do blank. Like if you want to do just single quotes, just do blank there, and you run it. Your report is output is typically blank. You're not outputting anything. But right now I want to output WB report data slash. I'm going to go and get my report entry. slash, then my employee ID. Okay, if I run it, it's gonna give me the error. Oh, hold on. Yeah, before running it, this is basically saying namespace previous WD has not been declared. So you need to declare a namespace here before before evaluating English to XML. So what this namespace is, that basically links your XML to your Xslt to your XML, okay? And saying, okay, you will be able to read this XML. So you're gonna get the workday namespace from your report output. It is also available on your advanced tab of your report. Copy, paste it over here. Now your WDs are valid. You have that namespace in there. Just run it. So basically give me every employee. If I do 1, I'm gonna get the first one. If I do 2, I'm gonna get the second one. Right? And I'm getting everyone. So, but I don't want everyone like this. I want everyone separated. Like I want each employee ID in a row, right? I want it here instead of there, right? How do you loop through each record in an exercise? First thing we are thinking now is how do you loop through each one? I want to go through each report entry and give each report entry as a row. Right? In order to do that, what you do is you go here, say, use a syntax called Xslt for each. So Xslt for each is basically like your loop through each of the X paths right here. I would do Xslt W report data plus report entry. So what I'm saying is, with whatever is entered within here, you are looping through my report data and report entry. That means you already are in each report. You're already entering each report entry at this point, right? In this case, you don't need the complete XPath right here because you are already coming into the report entry with your query. You can just do WD employee ID and it should print it for you. We still have the same thing, but we even don't have white space also this time because we're just looping through everything and printing everything, right? Printing each employee ID. One thing we have to do is, after printing an employee ID, I want line. I want to enter something. I want to basically have this one in my second row. That means I want a line field. What's my line field? What is the syntax of my line field? Go to Google. Xslt line field. So you should be able to find. So this will return the new line field character. Just copy of that. No worries. I won't connect it. Copy it. Just click on. You see everything coming in a separate row. What you did is you have your employee ID and you have a line feed. This line feed is basically converting everything into a new row. So within this employee, after this employee, right? Now I want I want my whatever my height date, right? I want to print my height date. I have to XL value of select WP for a pick height date right here. Click on, you should see your employee plus height date. Now I want to separate them with let's say with a pipe, right? You want to separate them with a pipe after your employee ID, you're gonna print pipe. So you're gonna say XL value of select. Within single quote, you can mention pipe. You automatically add a pipe there. Yeah. And then after height date also, I would require a pipe. So I'm gonna put a pipe. And then I want to do a substring of this. I don't want that. I think. value of select and do a substring directly here. You don't have to go create a cal field or something. If you have Xslt syntaxes that does substring, that does concat, pretty much does everything. You can do a lot of stuff using Xslt. I would say substring after, and I'm going to add my field. It is this one, the prompt, comma. I'm going to substring after space, just enter space. You're going to substring after space. And if you run it, you should get John. Everybody's John. Okay, so that's how you substring it. Then, and one last two is let's do salary as well, total value. So I would say sum of, can I do a different? Okay. Sum of, that will be total base pay, comma, okay, this should give me the sum of both of those amounts. Is it summing up? One seven plus 1 7. Come on, no. You need to add. Then I don't have to do this. Probably I can do this. This really works. This really works. Oh, I can just replace if you're really having them. Oh, then why would people use sum? Sum returns the value obtained by adding together values in argument. If 0 is not specified, then the value returns for redundancy. Okay. Well, sum should work. Anyway, you can directly do this. So, okay, let's take this now. I mean, we are able to build it. A simple 5 delimited file, not too complex, just a simple 5 delimited file. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this file and put it in an EIB, right? So let's go back to our sign-in page, sign in. ID001. Okay. Instead of edit interface, and remember, you built your XSLT on a simple XML, right? You built your XSLT based on a simple XML as your input, right? So this is your simple XML. Right? Based on it, you built your XSLT. So of course, that XSLT will only work on your simple XML. Transformation, I'm going to say custom transformation. We need to give a custom transformation here, right? So I'm going to duplicate this. And enter create XSLT attachment transformation. I would give it a number of 100. First XSLT. So go here, first XSLT, click OK. I want to go back to my custom transformation first, right? 100. find it. And this is a CSV file, so let's leave it like that. Let's quickly run it, and you should be able to see the if there is some there is not okay. Okay, let it run. Wait a minute. Output file. So this should automatically give us the same output that we have seen, except for this calculation, right? Okay. Yeah. To give us something like exactly what we have seen here. Right? It's the same. Except for our EIB probably having more decimal precision. Or probably our report is giving more decimals and this guy is just adding more decimals out there. Anyways. Simple, right? I mean, we'll discuss more, but any questions until now? Any questions on this first iteration? Okay, pretty easy. Cool. So we're gonna see some more stuff that I need more. This data is not even it's very small. Get different report. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pretty big. We can enable web service for this. Advanced. Okay. Group column headings are missing. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now if I look at my you is there any filter? Okay. There's a filter out there. And this is critical. I'm going to create a new one. Oxygen doesn't like ampersand, but your EIB will do it. So if you have ampersand, oxygen will be allowed. What I would do is I just replace with find the ampersand and just replace with null right now. But your data source, if your report has it, your EIB will not have it. It will take care of it. Good. Oxygen will not work with ampersand. Okay, so no ampersand. I'm going to format my data. So you have your report entry, you have your employee ID, you have your worker history, which For each line, you have your ESI. You have a lot of information right here, right? A lot of business processes and the worker history group where you have different business process events in a specific group, like this guy, different worker history group. Right? It's a pretty big XML. So you can write a lot of conditions in there, a lot of stuff in there. So really useful. I also have to get my schema. I'm going to create a new Xslt. Just copy everything and paste it. I'll remove whatever not needed. So first we need to replace our namespace. So I'm going to get the namespace from here. Replace our namespace. Okay. And then this is fine. I still need a text. I still need this. I'm going to match every template. For each is fine, I believe, because I know it will have report data and report entry. We're looking through each report data and report entry. And then employee ID, let's leave it like that. Now
You
we're going
did
to see
added a
some
schema
couple
to the XML, right, Krishna? Is it not required?
Oh, yeah. When you run it, I think it will ask because your oxygen will not understand what your XML is. Let's try. I used to do it as a habit. No, it's really not required, I think so. But it's just my habit. I usually associate them. Yeah, you're still getting your output. It's not really required. So you have your employee ID. So first thing I want to look at is substring. We already did substring, yes. Yeah, we did substring, but we want to do concatenate. So we are able to do substring earlier. So let's pick a field. Let's pick a text field right here. I have my job profile. Right. So I'm going to separate this. So if I always do this, let's say if my code is like 100 lines or maybe 200 lines, and after some days you want to replace your pipe with comma or tilde or something, and you have 100 lines to make a changes, right? Instead of doing this, what we would do is we would do this. We would create a variable. Variable name, I would say separator, and then I would give it a value or select. Yes. Select as this is same as I don't have to give pipe here. I can give a dollar, and I can give a variable here separate, and this should automatically give me the same results as it. You can initiate any number of parameters you want, or any number of variables you want. And then we would look for let's print our job profile. Job profile has from this. Okay, no mind. I'm gonna do it. Download operator. And then let's substring job profile for the first. I only need 15 characters. You use substring, starting location and the length. The source is the job profile. Comma starting location 0. Comma I would make 15. Give me from the starting location 15 characters of my job profile. Let's say I want to contact now. I want to mix multiple, or I want to add my job profile to something else. Right? You would use call contact. You can use job profile, and you need one more field to contact. Whether you give a field here or you can do a text directly like this. If you want to add, let's say, ERPA, then dash ERPA, then you can still do it. I'm going to publish this. You can concat to two fields here, or if you want just print, get some more field from here, just remove this report and look for whatever field you want. In this case, I would go with what's the pairing. If you see all these information, all these WDs, right, whatever in the drop down here, are all coming from your report entry, not after your. So you don't. So every tag you are seeing is from the report entry directly. You don't see your secondary tag. Like for example, you don't see your action event because action event is part of your worker history group, right? So if you want to go to action event, you have to do WP. What is this action event? Do we have a second action event? Or we have an action event on here as well. Okay, that's not what I meant by. So I need worker history group, right? Worker history group slash, and then you go for action event. So this action event is coming from the secondary object. Okay, right here. And you can concat like this, which throw the disconnect error because my concatenation has an issue here. Okay, and then how do I do sequence of more than one item is not allowed in the second argument of concat. So it is expecting that this close bracket is nothing but this. Interesting. Yeah. Continue. Concat XSLT. Parent child concatenation. So you have, let's say, map 1, map 2, map 2, map 2, color. I think they're going to combine these two. Desired output is map 2 is color green, like this, right? So creating parameters and putting it in the prop. Let's not too much. How do you connect it? How do you match the name and parent process? Okay. Yeah, let me do some more research on how to get you the tail element in there. But I can get these two that is like this. Okay. Let's say when you're filling a fixed width format file, right? So you would have I would leave it by your assignment. Let's say you would have something like fill everything with spaces. Or for example, we have yeah, like this, right? You want to build something like this. Your value is blank, fill it with spaces, or let's say your employee ID is 10 characters in length. If it is only 5, do the 5 and fill the rest of the spaces. Or if it is more than 5 characters, truncate it, right? So something like this you can achieve using your Xslt. One pretty simple way. I mean, I would leave for you guys to try it out once. You can use it using a concatenate substring function in your Xslt. I want to get a fixed width file like right here. I mean, your assignment is also based on a fixed width file. And you guys think through different logics that you can apply. The next thing we would do is, we're running out of time. Okay. I have one more called translate. I'll just select translate. Translate is typically translate a particular string into a string into a different string, right? If you want to translate your alphabet or numeric fields and remove all the numeric fields from your output, you can use translate to do it. For example, if you look at our thing, okay, we have this single column, right? I don't want to column in my action event. So what I can do is I say WC action event, comma. I don't want my single event, so I'm going to include my single column right here, comma, just blank. So this should remove my single column from my action event. I'm going to separate it first with the separator. So the option. And translate usually removes me whatever the character I want to remove. I mean, you can list a different sets of characters here. If you want to remove P as well, you can just press P there and it will remove the P's for you. Capital P, if you want small p, just put it in there. Translate is like replace. Like replace any of these characters with a space or with a single character or space. Flat spaces. Okay. That is your translate function. Then let's stop it right here, and we have choose when if different Xslt functions that we need to look. Usually we'll go by we'll have to go through choose and click these two. I think we can complete. So what is an if? Right? I can do an if, right? An if, very simple. When I can say, let's say action. When my action event, or when I can select, let's say when my action event contains, I will use the action event, contain Let's do job profile. I have job profile contains assistant. I would return something called ASFC. Okay. So if your job profile contains this, you know, return this. You can write multiple ifs, but each if is typically printing you a field, right? Each if is basically giving you a field. Xslt if contain, if you say contain of assistant, I want to contain associate. I will return ASSO. Well, let's stop with this first. I will remove my profile. Okay. So wherever my job profile has ASSC, I have. Why do I get a lot of? Doing a lot of separators. Okay. Yeah. Pretty simple. You have your employee ID, you have your job profile, you have your separator, and then after your separator, if your job profile is ASSC, you give ASSC. If your job profile is ASSO, you give ASSO. Rest of the information you said, you did not say anything for those fields, so they're gonna remain blank, right? You can separate each if using a separator if you want. That means each if is basically operating itself as a field, right? So if there is assistant, it's here. If it's associate, it's right at the end, right? It's at the end. Your assistant is coming one step below. I mean, one separator above. That is your if. So there is one other thing called choose. Xslt choose. Choose is it's basically when another way, right? So you choose from a series of conditions and you return whatever condition is true, right? So when a choose opens and closes, you basically within the choose itself you can write multiple conditions. So you can still put the same condition. Okay, I'll just select when ASSP. I can do a copy of this line. I'm going to paste it again. I'm going to say instead of assistant, look for associate and give me ASSO. And you have an option to print otherwise as well. Xslt otherwise. You can say value of select. If both or any of them is not true, I would say choose. No. I'm going to separate my if with separators, or I'll do with the tilde. Just give a different separator right here. Okay. So for my assistant, I got one assist. If I don't have any assistant or associated, I got my default value, which is my otherwise. Right? So, but you can't separate multiple ones. I mean, you can't add something like a separator right here. You can, within a choose, either you can add a when or another way, but you can't add a separator in between. You can add separators or anything within and when condition. Like you can add something right here if you want, which will result in a different thing. Right. So these two are like major things that we'll use to with conditions in an Xslt. We have a couple of others which we can look at tomorrow before going into the IBs. But any questions until now? And you can also ask me your questions on your report. I see a couple of messages on WhatsApp as well. So just ask me. And I know you guys are confused with some of the report fields. I gave that assignment in a way that I did not include work detailed field names within the entire assignment because I don't want to get obvious, right? I don't want to give you everything that you want. I want you guys to figure out, drill through each field or each object and see what field exactly matches the description given in the assignment. That's well. So yes, shoot me. No questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Krishna, I think we will figure out and get back to you. So this assignment should be completed by Friday, right? That's what you said, right?
Yes. Report. I should have it by Friday because we have seen the Xslt also today, right? And you are now ready to do an EIB as well with that report. So technically by Sunday, which will be holiday, right? So by Monday next week, you should complete everything. Report with an EIB complete.
Okay.
Krishna, this is Ramesh. Maybe what I'm saying might not be applicable for other participants, but I have no clue on HCM side of the story at all. All I have is finance, and I'm looking at some of these fields. I'm trying to find related business objects, and I'm having some problem with that. So one example. On your on the criteria, you had any compensation, and you also had compensation has to be within one past year was your filter criteria, and you're also asking last compensation change effective date. I did find some fields probably somebody created for that, but I don't know whether am I going after the right one.
Okay, so
go ahead.
The requirement is typically filter criteria, right? It is the list details who have, I need all employees who have at least compensation change or an organization change within the past year. So consider past year instance from August 7, 2018 until today, if any of the worker has a compensation change or an organization change. Can be both, can be any one of these. Right? How do you identify if a worker has a comp or an organization change, right? You would go by worker history. You would look at his worker history and see whether the compensation transactions happened within that year or whether an organization change happened, transactions happened within a year. So you have an effective date which you can look back to, saying effective date greater than today minus 1 year. Right? If your effective date for a transaction you get from worker history is greater than today minus 1 year, you include that.
Yeah, I tried that. Just if you have a minute, why don't you allow me to share the screen so you can see what I did? And since it's can you see my screen?
Hold on, I think I need to stop sharing. Yeah, I'll try and share it again. Spoiler alert.
What happened?
No, I'm just saying you're showing some solutions. Somebody, spoiler alert.
Probably not. Oh, that's not the screen I want to share, but let me move it. Okay, here. This is what I got. You guys, you can see now, right?
Yes.
So this is what I tried for the
Okay.
filter, and these fields were already there.
Oh, those are delivered fields or calculate? Can you go for action? Look for
Yeah,
the
I
three
think
dots.
this is delivered.
That is delivered. The next one.
The next one, I created this one.
Okay. Can you go?
I created.
So this old organization assignment as of is the calfill or it's just work delivered? Okay.
This is also calfill.
Go through it. Yeah.
So
can you
I
please
get. This is the same thing. They gave 2 dates, and based on the 2 dates, on the report.
So you are looking at this
Huh?
way. You're getting an organization value as of a date, and you're getting an organization value as of last year, and you're seeing whether those two are different.
No, I'm saying
Right.
and I can make this R. You said R compensation most recent change date, and this is organization assignment change. I'll make this an R, and that will probably should do what it is expected to do now, right? If I make this an R, am I in the right path?
Yes, but when you're there, but the way you went is a little tricky. So you have your organization calcul, right? And you just open it.
Organization calcul.
And click OK, and then try to open.
Okay.
Yeah, the organization assignment changed.
Okay. Organization assignment changed.
Yep. Just open it. Yeah. No need to edit it. I want to see that calcul within it. One of those calculs, any one of those.
You want me to
so
cancel
what I'm
here?
guessing is you took an organization value. Yeah, you can cancel and open one of those. You took an organization value as of 2 different dates, right?
Correct.
When you
and on the prompts, what I did was
comparing it.
On the prompts, I specified today's date and do not prompt at runtime. So I hard coded that. That way, it's going after the system date and a year ago plus 1 day.
Yeah.
So that's solving my criteria.
Except for one scenario, right? So what you did is you took your organization value basically at 2 points in time, today and
Correct.
today minus 1. You have an organization value today and today minus 1, and when you have taken it, one scenario is, let's say your organization 1 as of last year is same as organization 2 as of this year, but in between the year there are some changes.
Okay. Yes.
In between the year, let's say starting off this year, there might be one change, or there might be 2 changes, which basically swap back and forth, right? That transaction would miss it, but otherwise, it should work like a charm.
Last compensation change, I have an effective date. Action event.
Last compensation change, I think it's coming from a delivered field.
Worker. Yeah, these are all delivered.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, you're on the right track. Just
then
one
my report is.
If you go through what?
If I go through what?
Yeah. Go ahead. Your report. No. If you go through worker history on your filter, try to get the most recent organization change from the worker history. In that case, also you'll face the same problem.
Worker history is sub filter, right? It has to, it can be on the filter.
So here is how I would do it, right? So I have all I need is if there is a successfully completed organization change event happen on worker. So I can do worker history as my field. You can do an extract single instance. Okay, and
I did that.
Only worker history transaction Yeah, where business process type is organization change and successfully completed, right? If that worker history has a transaction, if that cal field has a transaction, that means the worker has something.
See, this is for
Yeah.
compensation change event,
Yeah,
right?
that
This
is
cal
comp, right?
field. There, yeah. This is the.
Yeah, just open it.
So here I'm getting action event and descending and the first occurrence. So I'm getting the most recent one. That's what you're
I
suggesting,
would
right?
say
That's
start
what you.
by effective. No. Yeah, this is fine, but sort it by effective date. So the sort field out there, you put action event, right? So that is nothing but sorting it alphabetically. So if you edit it, sort it by effective date. It's just what field you have to use to sort. So right now, if you get all worker history transactions, there are like 4 or 5 compensation changes on the worker, which you filtered out based on your condition out there, right? That condition filtered out compensation only. Now you have 4 or 5, but with different effective dates. So you can sort, you want the most recent one. You don't want it alphabetically, you want by effective date. So you look for effective date there, sort it effective date. And then either I think it's the descending and first occurrence should work.
Descending should give the descending and first occurrence should give, right? And
descending and first.
Translate text field BP type. I think this one is appropriate. I'm thinking. Edit. And business process type, exact match with the selection. This is the one.
Look for proposed compensation. So there are different compensation business process in Workday.
So I have to add one more comparison value. Okay, add one more.
Just comparison value. Proposed comp. No, just propose, not propose. Proposed compensation higher and proposed compensation.
Select both of them?
Proposed compensation thing. Yeah.
So let's say if I go with this, how do I go back?
So if this one has an event, right, within a
year,
year,
what?
Then you, I mean, if this calculated field that you built, I mean, you can also say that within the condition, right? You can also say effective date greater than this year. Like if you want to put this in a filter, right? If you want to put this in a filter, all you're trying to say is if this event or if this calculated field returns me a value, that means there is a comp change for that one.
Within the last 1 year.
So you can add one more saying effective. Yeah. So it will only give you transactions in the last 1 year. If there are no transactions in the last 1 year, this calculated field will return blank. So you're automatically filtering.
I filtered that down on the filter itself, but right?
Yeah, either way, it's the same. It's just how you built it. That's it. Both should written in the same way. I mean, you don't have to even go for a filter. You can directly go for a step filter. Put work history out there and put. I mean, in the first time, I was expecting people to do filter and all, but someone went to worker history, sub filter, put it on the effective dates and everything on sub filter, and they filtered out worker history from the worker, saying only when my sub filter is true, get me a record. So it obviously filtered out everything.
So I don't have value from another field is not here. I don't know why. Greater than last year. That's what I want to say. Coming up.
You can
global
build a build date.
Yeah, supposed to be. Not current effective date, current date, something. That's fine.
I'll current date minus 1 year.
Correct. Do you think is there a defined one?
Don't look for current day. Oh, is there one? Those guys work, they gave so many fields, right? So I would just build
it's not there.
I would build a
Yeah,
calculated
that's
field
fine.
and
I'll deal with that. But for now, I have it on the filter. Now the question is, pretty much I had an and or combination. I got it wrong. That's good. We fixed that. But if we go back and try to run now, I got some weird data. Maybe because we changed the criteria, it might have fixed something. Effective date 0201. This is not supposed to be here because it's supposed to be within 1 year.
That's the compensation change effective date?
I think so. The effective date before. Yeah,
So that's
that is the
change. Last
compensation change event effective date.
No, I think it's coming from the below one, right? The last compensation change, the work they delivered one.
Correct.
I think it's coming from there.
Yeah.
That one did not have any filters. That's just a work they delivered field saying last compensation change, which would give you a last compensation change. What is it?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything there. So.
Yeah, correct. On this filter, we have proposed and also compensation change. 3 types of events are covered, but here it's only looking at the last compensation change, right?
Yep.
So that's why this effective date.
The top field that you built, that did not have anything, any effective date in there because you're filtering out. Did we add date yet? No.
Date for which one?
I'm just thinking if we did not add date, how did the
here itself. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. When you go to the report output on the other tab, so open the other tab that you have. Go to the right. Go on. That effective date, the other effective date is blank.
This is blank. Yeah.
Just curious why it is blank.
Yeah.
It is coming from your calculator.
Correct. That is
and
from.
You already applied some filters on your cal field somewhere, on subfilter or somewhere?
On this one?
Yeah. That one we did not put any date, right? When we looked into it, when we tried to put that 1 year plus, we did not put any.
Yes, that is open. Correct. It got started by effective date.
It should give me at least an event, whatever comp change that guy had.
Yes. And that corresponding effective date.
Unless you have something on your subfilter. Can you go to your subfilter, which might be filtering the data from this subfilter?
It's not blank.
It
can.
History. Yeah. I'm just curious why our compensation change calculation.
Yeah, but when I saw the data, I know I have a problem with my events. I only had 1 event, but even without those 2 extra events, the data seems to be off, and I thought I'm wrong somewhere in the cardinality or the relations between the objects.
Yeah, I mean, you almost got it. Just probably a lot of data is wrong in this tenant. So many people are using it for a lot of stuff. So
I know a lot of others might have built the report, and we all should get the same output, right? I don't know whether I'm getting the highest volume of data here, but 152 is the count I got.
152.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You should not get some of those. fields in there for sure. Yeah, we still have to figure out why it is not working.
Okay.
But we can look at it. If you want to give one more try on it.
Yeah, I'll review one more time tomorrow, and yeah, that's fine. And at the end, if somebody makes a good report, sorry.
Yeah, no. If somebody makes, yes, of course you can look at it. But give it a try. Otherwise, we'll fix it tomorrow, anyways.
Okay. Thank you.
If you can,
Thank you very
we
much.
can get it down to the exact number.
That's fine. Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you all guys for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest
Thank
of
you.
your evening.
You too. Bye now.
Thanks, Krishna.